In the Willamette Parkview Mall outdoor area, players come across a group of prisoners who have taken it over. Sam Franklin leads this group, which includes Reginal Jenkins and Miguel Sanchez. The narrative revolves around violence, mayhem, and surviving in an inverted society. In the midst of apocalyptic events, the prisoners represent more than just another threat. They represent the darkest aspects of human nature. I will go into great detail about the Convicts persona in this video, including their goals, background, and the significance of their character, examining what makes the inmates such a captivating group in the game, from their background and their motives to their ultimate fate. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. You may also look at my game videos if you would like to, and I hope all of you are doing well and having a great day. I finally started to be more active on YouTube, so you'll probably see me making more videos and posting a lot of playthrough walkthroughs or whatever gameplay that I love to play or anything. But I really, for the people who are watching, for the people who are just, standing by, I really appreciate all the support that you all give me, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're almost hitting 500 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I will make a video on that. But without further ado, let's get it. In Dead Rising, the convicts are encountered by the protagonist Frank West as he navigates the overrun Willamette Parkview Mall. The group consists of three dangerous individuals: Sam Franklin, Reginal Jenkins, and Miguel Sanchez. The prisoners are first seen in Dead Rising as a serious threat in the leisure park. Frank West first encounters them early in the game, which sets up a sequence of intense encounters. In a tense cutscene, the prisoners are first seen terrorizing the survivors at Leisure Park. They mow down anybody or even attack anyone who get in their way while operating a military Humvee with a mounted machine gun. They are shown to be a serious threat in this scene, which also highlights their cruelty and disregard for human life.
Get your aim right, brother. Yeah.
All right, looks like we found our next contestant.
We're gonna take out that dude and snatch his old lady.
Players face off against the convicts in the parking lot where the trio patrols the area in their Humvee. The convicts are armed and dangerous, making them formidable opponents. The encounter requires players to use strategy and quick reflexes to avoid the Humvee's gunfire and take down the convicts. During the battle, players must dodge the Humvee's attacks while finding opportunities to strike back. The fight is challenging due to the convicts' mobility and firepower. Defeating the convicts requires careful planning and effective use of the environment and available weapons. Sam Franklin is the inmate's ruthless leader, but also the driver. He is portrayed as a strong, crafty person with a dominant presence. Sam drives aimlessly around and often crashes into a bench, tree, or lamppost, requiring him to take some time to reverse and get out of the jam, giving Frank a good opportunity to attack him with a melee weapon or give a good aim if attacking him with firearms. Sam has a solid physique and an average height. He has a persistent frown, and his eyes portray a cold and calculating mentality that is constantly looking for the next opportunity to assert his control. Sam is also a dangerous opponent because of his past, which includes an array of criminal acts. Reginal Jenkins, also known as Reggie, serves as Sam's right-hand man. He is the most troublesome convict of all the three. He uses the HMG and can shoot with precise aim from close up or afar. Once he is dead, he will slump back into his seat and the HMG is up for grabs. His appearance defines him as a towering figure with a broad muscular frame, exuding intimidation. Reginald also has a menacing appearance with a shaved head and a stern expression that rarely changes. Reggie's strength and sadistic tendencies make him the muscle of the group, eager to inflict pain and terror on anyone who crosses their path. Miguel Sanchez is the getaway driver of the group. Miguel will swing his bat at Frank whenever he is parallel with him. If Sam happens to die before Miguel does, then Miguel will push Sam out of the Humvee and take over as driver, giving Frank an easier time finding them. He is of average height, but lean and weary, built for speed and agility. Miguel, to me, has a wild look about him, with an unkempt hair and a mischievous grin that would never seems to leave his face. Known for his nerves of steel and love for chaos, Miguel adds a wild unpredictability to the group's dynamic. The convicts are motivated by a twisted sense of freedom and power. With society collapsing, they see the apocalypse as an opportunity to indulge their violent desires without fear or repercussions. Each member of the group is motivated by a criminal past and a lack of respect for authority. Before we learn about the convicts' real motives, we must first understand how they escape prison. The convicts' escape from prison is an example of opportunistic chaos. The zombie outbreak spread, causing widespread panic and confusion, including within the prison system that they were in. Security measures probably failed. Guards were most likely overwhelmed by the sudden influx of the affected, and the prison fell into chaos. Sam Franklin, as the leader of the three of them, probably saw this as a perfect opportunity. He rallied Reginald and Miguel using their combined strengths that could have overpowered guards and broke free from their cells. The three of them fought their way through the pandemonium, taking advantage of the disarray caused by the outbreak. As for stealing the Humvee that they drive, the convicts likely took advantage of the chaos caused by the zombie outbreak to break out of the prison. Perhaps they overpowered guards, discovering a weakness in the prison's defenses, or used guile tactics to escape. Stealing a military jeep will require skill and audacity, so it is very likely that they might have targeted a military base or checkpoint where such vehicles were stationed and they just stole it. So once they had the jeep, they drove it to Leisure Park, which was most likely their goal was to establish a stronghold and wreak havoc on survivors and zombies alike. Sam's erratic driving during the battle suggests his impulsivity and lack of concern for consequences. His willingness to drive and crash into obstacles while pursuing Frank West highlights his reckless behavior. Psychopaths often exhibit risk-taking tendencies, and Sam embodies this by driving the stolen Humvee with abandon. His criminal history likely contributed to his psychopathic tendencies. Escaping prison during the outbreak further solidified his villainous role. The harsh prison environment likely shaped his behavior, transforming him into a convict to a ruthless psychopath. Reginald's precise use of the heavy machine gun, or the HMG, showcases calculated violence. His ability to operate this weapon effectively suggests his prior experience or training. Psychopaths lack empathy and remorse, and Reginald's willingness to gun down both zombies and survivors aligns with this profile. His escape from prison and subsequent actions demonstrate the intersection of trauma and choices. His criminal past likely contributed to his violent tendencies. Miguel completes the trio, even though he's less prominent. His use of a baseball bat symbolizes brutality and aggression. While not as sophisticated as Reginald's HMG, it still serves as a deadly weapon. Miguel's role emphasizes that psychopathy can manifest in various ways. Even without elaborate tools, he participates in their violent rampage. Why do they act this way? The convicts' behavior can be attributed to a combination of their past experiences, psychological traits, and the chaotic environment of the outbreak. The harsh realities of prison life and the sudden freedom provided by the outbreak allowed the convicts to flourish with psychopathic tendencies, lacking empathy and remorse. These traits were amplified by the outbreak, turning them into deadly threats. In the absence of societal rules, convicts used violence and intimidation to dominate their new territory. Their actions are not just about survival, but also asserting their dominance over others. They view the survivors and the zombies alike as prey, turning the apocalypse into their playground. The convicts' reign of terror eventually comes to an end when they cross paths with Frank West. Determined to bring some semblance of order to the chaos, Frank West confronts the convicts in a deadly showdown. The battle is fierce, with Frank using the resourcefulness to overcome the convicts in firepower and strategic advantage. Once the convicts are defeated, Frank gains access to the machine gun and the Humvee. The death of the convicts marks a significant milestone in the game, clearing a major obstacle for the protagonist and providing a sense of accomplishment for the player. In the end, Frank manages to defeat Sam, Reginal, and Miguel, bringing an end to their brutal activities. Their deaths were not just another victory for Frank, but a necessary step to restore safety to the survivors in the mall. The narrative of Sam Franklin, Reginal Jenkins, and Miguel Sanchez in Dead Rising serves as a stark reminder of how society's collapse can bring out in the worst of people. The descent into madness and violence reflects the darker side of human nature, demonstrating how the apocalypse can negatively impact our most dangerous characteristics. The downfall of these characters serves as a warning about the dangers of losing our moral compass. It emphasizes the importance of resilience, compassion, and a strong sense of right and wrong, even in the most dire situations. The apocalypse in Dead Rising is more than just a setting for zombie carnage, but it's a turning point that reveals the true nature of people when all societal norms are removed. The convicts represent the primal instincts for survival and dominance, which can lead to monstrous actions if unchecked. Understanding the motivations and background of these characters adds depth to the Dead Rising universe, reminding us that the real horror often lies within human nature. By examining characters like Sam, Reginald, and Miguel, we gain insight into the complexities of human psychology and impact of extreme circumstances on behavior.